big guns. Down in the Mediterranean, the fleet has made a tremendous contribution to the successes of the Army of the Nile, in the smashing of Bardia, for example. Steaming along the coast of Libya, a squadron composed of battleships and destroyers gave the town and the port a terrific pasting with shells of all sizes. While this bombardment was going on at sea, our gunners were in action ashore. Together with the bombing and gunning handed out by the Royal Air Force and the Fleet Air Arm, this double shelling by land and sea must have turned Bardia into a real hell. Italian guns replied at first. Those shell bursts are some of the evidence. And at sea too, the enemy shells fell short. While the bombardment continued, our forces moved on to the final assault. Armored cars and tanks advancing swiftly to smash through the outer defenses and battle their way to the heart of the Italian position. Here, more tanks are moving up. In order to minimize wear on the track, they're being towed up a rise known locally as Hellfire Pass. From the top of the escarpment, of course, they joined in the attack. Free French forces cooperated with the armored cars in besieging the town from the west. Reinforcement from Tobruk and escape from Bardia was prevented. Before the advance began, Catholics from the infantry units had attended Mass in the desert. Australians and regiments from Britain were glad to complete their desert march and to get near their objective at last. They were soon in action, and as the whole world knows, it was only a matter of hours before the storming of Bardia was successfully carried through. Prisoners by the thousand were being rounded up even before the surrender of the place. As for the port itself, the Royal Navy had certainly done a job of work there. And the Royal Navy took charge of many of the Italian prisoners. Here's what's left of the town. A vast amount of war material as well as prisoners fell into our hands, of course. Field guns by the score and automatics and ammunition in great quantities. Other interesting notes made by the Movietone camera included a tank trap originally camouflaged to look like solid ground, and the name of Bardia High Street. Many tank traps had been filled in by Australian engineers before the battle. After the battle, they filled in the name of the High Street.